What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Double M Motorsports. Today we are going to look at the setup that I had for dry slick that did not work, and I want to show you guys everything that I did to prepare for it. As we talked about in the last video, it actually wound up being, I think, even though I was loose in the rear end, I think I was tight on the front end, which kind of messed me up, and I drove way too aggressive. So didn't really get much good data, but I want to show you guys what I did in my mind thinking to prepare for it and get everything changed back for Springfield this weekend. Sit back, enjoy the episode. Okay, here's what I did to get ready for Legit Speedway. We did change back over to the Bilstein shocks back here, so those will have to be switched back over to the AFCOs for Springfield. Nothing really in here changed. You've seen I did do the repairs to the ladder rack here. It had completely bent over and shoved up into the back there, which is probably why I was having so many issues at Springfield, spinning out and stuff there at the end of the week before last race. So that has to be changed out, and I also put the Bilstein on the front right. Back right of the car, I lowered down my trailing arm. I usually run it in the next to top hole. I lowered it down one, trying to tighten the car up a little bit. Probably could have lowered this down more in hindsight to square up my rear end a little bit. Other than that, moved the shock to the front of the axle because everybody see this angle I've got on my spring. I'm not for sure. This is all connected. My spring cup, everything is connected down there on this bird cage. And I don't know if this thing has rotated back. That's something I'm going to look at today. I mean, the brake caliper seems to be in the correct place and position, and it's attached to all that as well. But it's almost like this needs to come up more. That's why I had to move the shock. Because the shock used to be back here on this mount, and it was rubbing into the face of that shock. And you can see the rub there. That is something that that we're going to look at this week too. Everything else still looks good. It's where it should be. So we got to get that changed out. Change out the right front shock back to the AFCO on that. And then the other thing I want to look at this week is I was having horrible wheel shake, and they said it was due to the track, but man, that's the second time that's happened to me, to where the wheels are just shaking like really bad at lower speeds. And I don't know if to me that would be like ball joints or something here's come loose. So I've really got to go over the steering this week, make sure everything's up to par on that, because I don't like the shakiness out there. I'm already having issues controlling the car, as we can all see, so I don't need to add any more issues. I'd never noticed that before until a couple weeks ago. So we will look at that this week as well. So you guys let me know what you think. How do you set up for known dry slick conditions? Oh, also the other change I made was a spacer on the left rear. I put a 1/2 inch spacer over there. Probably had my tire stagger. I think I was 3 inches of stagger in the rear. which was a 3/4 inch more with the feature set of tires than I ran in the heat race. But I put the 1/2 inch spacer in. Didn't want to do the full inch spacer because I put a full inch in week before last and it screwed my tire big time, even though I did cut off some of my fender and stuff like that was rubbing on. I still got a little bit of tire rub even with a 1/2 inch spacer on there, so I've got to get some clearance stuff met up with there. But just based on what you've seen me do, throw me some suggestions. What do you guys do different? What's worked for you? I do know I was overdriving the car just from all the research I've done this week. Definitely overdriving it, relying way too much on my brake, which my brake would free the car up. I probably should have moved them to the front. I had them kind of towards the rear. And I needed to come off, do the corners a lot smoother. I was driving like Springfield and I can't do that. I'm not used to dry slick, so I'm trying to learn, trying to take all these notes and figure this thing out. But leave some comments below what you guys do, if you do anything different. All right, I can tell you one thing, and that's that this thing does not move. It is welded. I just thought, you can see the weld there. I thought that was just connected to the brake caliper bracket, but we are also welded, see if you can see it back here. It's welded right there onto the axle shaft, so, or onto the axle tube, whatever these are called. So that is not moving, but that just seems funky to me. And it was definitely digging. I mean, you can even see the battle scar on the bracket there from where it was digging into my shock. There's the shock damage. Shock still operates fine, still goes in and out just fine. But that's why I had to move the shock in front of the rear axle, which, I don't know. I'm still not decided on if it's helped anything or not, because I haven't got to drive it on a track I know. I've just driven on unknown, so I'll be able to tell you after this weekend if this has kind of freed up the rear end to move and flex a little better. We shall see. I'll get this shock put back on. Everything's nut and bolted here, ready to roll. So we'll get this put back together. All right, left rear's back together. Got the Avco back on there. I cut this bolt thread that was sticking out flush with the nut. Everything's been greased up, checked. Make sure I've got my 1 inch of space in between the spring and the top of the cup at full droop. Chain is good. All right, left rear's ready to roll. Next, we got to change out the gear. We had to put a bigger gear in to run at the 3/8 mile track. So let's put our Springfield gear back in there. All right, get these gears swapped out. I hate changing gears because I hate the smell of gear oil. Why is that the nastiest smelling stuff ever? I don't know who came up with the smell of gear oil or what makes it smell like that. It's horrible. Springfield, I run a 583 gear and tracks, the 3/8 tracks with Monet, and legit that we ran last weekend. Ran a 548, something like that. Don't even get me lying to you on what gear numbers do what. I have no clue. I just know that's what I was told to run, so that's what I ran. It has something to do with the, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Revolutions. I do know that my pinion gear in this rear end is a 486. The other options for quick change is 411. And I don't know what that means either. I just know if I was to run these gears at Springfield, I would not get up to RPM very fast. It takes a lot longer to get up to your rip'ems up. Better get a rag. Girl on top, like Sal Ferrara taught me to put my gears in. Gotta put the fat girl on the top and the skinny one on the bottom. And you gotta get her match. There we go. Changing gears as easy as that. Alright, then we're done. Dump the oil right back in the hole here. That sends it back down to the rear end. This stuff's getting pretty dark. I need to probably need to do a rear end fluid job. Alright, easy as that. Alright, the last thing we need to do is get this Bilstein off and swap it out with the aft coat. is it. That is everything that you have to do just to race at different tracks. Everything is set back up again for Springfield. So now I'll just go through and do all my regular nut and bolt checks. The rear, I did that as I went. I did this one as I went, so this side's ready to go. I just got to do the left front. Get that one set and go through and check everything else that I check on a weekly basis. So it's a lot of work racing at different tracks, especially when they're severely different in characteristic and length. So that's what racers go through when they're getting their car set up for different tracks. So I can't imagine, even though it was pretty cool to travel, 2 hours away to go to a race, I could not imagine, the guys that do this all the time. It's a lot of work. We probably won't be doing it again anytime that soon. The furthest we're going to travel, or that we've got planned to travel for the rest of the season, is Lucas up in Wheatland. We're planning on racing there once or twice this year. They've got 2 races that they're racing Midwest Mods in. So we'll go up there and race that when they do that. But for the most part, we're going to stick around Springfield this year, just on Saturday nights, and see what we can do and try to get us a win there. So appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoy this content, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.